And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to 5 Minute Card Reviews. It is your boy Cheap Ludes, and I don't know what this is, but I did it anyway. Time to review new Dark Matter Kristaps Porzingis. You know what? We all kind of know what's up with Porzingis at this point. Majority of people used either his Amethyst or his Pink Diamond at some point during 2K22's lifespan, or at the bare minimum, they were very familiar with what he did. Every sweat lord in the world was using one of those two cards at some point during 2K22, if not for way longer than they needed to do so. 7'3", 240, which is ridiculous. This card is cracked out. 95 3-pointer, 85 driving dunk with a 95 standing dunk. Being 7'3" with a 95 standing dunk is ridiculous. 83 ball handle, which I think is just fine for him. Like, truly, I did not expect him to have even an 80. I thought it was going to be a little bit lower, but I'm not entirely surprised. Um, 84 steal, 82 perimeter, 89 interior, but it doesn't matter, truly. Like, his interior defense means absolutely nothing. If you've come across Kristaps in the wild, you know that interior defense stat means nothing. 92 offensive rebound, 94 defensive rebound. Speed's not that much, but he's still going to move decent because he's 7'3", so it doesn't really matter. 88 strength could be better, but realistically, it doesn't really matter. The 84 lateral quickness, once again, just due to his size, it truly does not matter, like these stats. And I know that sounds weird, but I am dead serious. If you've played against Kristaps this year, you know. 35 pass intercept, 40 on ball steal isn't very good, but he's also like the lankiest person in existence, so it's not really that big of a deal. It's not. 99 shot contest, 99 block shot, 0 take charge. My man is not taking any charges. 5 foul tendency, 5 Howard foul tendency. Really, really solid. Now, looking at the badges here, I mean, catch and shoot, corner specialist, difficult shots. Like, he's got drop stepper, I guess, if you're into that. Rim protector, box intimidator, all on Hoff. He's got Hoff blinders, limitless, chef, rhythm shooter, set shooter, clutch shooter, deadeye, sniper. Like, it's crazy. He's also got mouse in the house, which I guess is sort of important. You're not going to run into too many centers, I feel like, that are going to be short enough that this is going to activate. But if you do run into guys who are like 6'10", I think this does activate. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me there. I'm just not sure exactly what the height is. I thought it was like 3 inches, but I don't know. Either way, he's even got gold break wall, clamps, interceptor, like rebound chaser, circus threes on gold too, like quick first step. The only things he really doesn't have that he needs, I guess, are dribbling badges, but it's not really that, necessary at the end of the day. Lucky number 7 if you play a lot of clutch time, but that's about it. He doesn't really need any of these badges. Ankle braces, I would say, is the one that I'm like, yeah, he kind of needs that. Like, realistically, he does. He might get crossed. Not too many centers are going to be able to cross Kristaps, but he might. Limitless takeoff, being 7'3", and fast twitch are going to be pretty beneficial as well, but it kind of remains to be seen. Now, the issue with Kristaps, realistically, a fundamental dribble style, I don't even think is that bad. Like, he can kind of move, and his jump shot is extra, extra clean. Actually, weirdly enough, I think this jump shot from Kristaps comes better off the dribble than it does off the catch and shoot. That's just me, though. Like, yes, Kristaps does look like the human incarnation of a tube sock, like, for sure. Like, if a tube sock came to life, it would look like Kristaps Porzingis. I'll be the first to say that. Honestly, if a Newport 100 came to life, it would look like Kristaps Porzingis. But the card is stupid. I mean, we all know what's up. Brook Lopez on quick is really solid. It's not quite as good as, I forgot what release he had a couple years ago in 2K20, but that release was a little bit better in my opinion. But that being said, this one is more than fine. He actually feels not that slow. I thought he was going to feel a little bit slower, but he's actually not that bad. His behind the back's not terrible. His pull-up is pretty awful, though. I will say that. Like, that's kind of the one thing. Like, his pull-up and his leaner are pretty bad. They're extra slow, very easy to time, but slow. So, I mean, I guess if you get the space, for sure, definitely pull it. But I think it's actually faster in the case of Kristaps to just kind of pull up. You know what I mean? Do a little quick stop pull up than it is to actually try to shoot the leaner. Now, I specifically like to talk about the leaners due to next gen because those are a lot more beneficial over there than they are here. Let's try his leaner from the left. I'm just not sure how it's going to be. Yeah. Easy to time, like very easy to green, just really, really slow. I actually think it's easier to pull his pull-up than it is to green his regular jump shot. Kristaps is a menace, though. Like, what you're not going to see in shoot around here is essentially that Kristaps is going to be able to contest the entire floor, right? So he's going to be able to contest basically everywhere. If you have Kristaps right here and you jump, I mean, he's probably going to end up over here. So realistically, you can contest almost the entire half court with just Kristaps. That's basically what it is. And that is absolutely horrifying. Now, I know a lot of people are going to focus in on the fact that Kristaps is going to be really, really good in regards to movement for a center. But I feel like what Kristaps is ideally going to bring your team is, without a doubt, some of the best 3-and-D center position play that you can possibly get. Like, is he going to be as good of a center as Dikembe defensively? No. Is he going to be lethal from outside? Absolutely. In addition to that, he's going to bring you some intangibles that you just don't see with some other centers, like absolute fear when it comes to him standing at the three-point line. Like, if you're someone who does a lot of driving kicks, you're going to want Kristaps because he absolutely will terrify your opponent because he's lethal. It's really hard to contest him too because he's 7'3". You know what I mean? So there's little intangibles that really, they don't come through in the card just looking at it. And you know what? Movement wise, he's all right. And if you give him limitless takeoff, he'll be able to get to the basket at a pretty high clip, like straight away, you know, a street ball action. I really thought I was going to green that one. Anyways, the real question here is, like, is Kristaps worth his price? And I would say yes and no. Yes, for the fact that he pretty much brings you something that you're not going to get from a lot of centers. And even looking at the late game centers that we're going to be receiving, they're not going to give you what Kristaps gives you in relation to length, right? They're just not. Like, Dikembe and Kareem are definitely going to give you that length too at the same time, but they're not going to give you the unparalleled shooting, and they're not going to give you the movement at this point. So is Kristaps worth picking up? Yes. If you plan on playing at a competitive level for, I would say, the next season and a half, then yeah, absolutely. Kristaps is super duper worth it. Is he worth it for the rest of the year? I would say no. And the reason for that is he's going to be easily, you know, a badged up one's probably 600K or so. If not outright more. I think we saw one sell for 6 million earlier, which had a lot of Hoff badges. It was actually crazy. But if he's not going to be worth it for that long, because 2K is going to start pumping out centers pretty soon. But for a good month and a half, he's easily going to be the best well-rounded center in the entire game. So for that reason, I would say he's worth this price. And once you get the jump shot down, you get the jump shot down. You know what I mean? It takes a second, but Brook Lopez base is solid. So, as always, it's been your boy Cheap Ludes. This one's been a little longer than 5 minutes, but Kristaps is a special player. He's a unicorn of such. So, had to talk a little bit longer about it. So, have a good night, you guys. Peace.